Welcome back to the Pig Trail Show. It is time for our Hog Hoops recruiting report with Kevin McPherson. He's joining us, as always, over Zoom. And Kevin, a big week on campus as Arkansas welcomed multiple guys for visits, both official and unofficial. We'll start with some 2022 guys. We'll start things off with Kel'el Ware out of North Little Rock, a four-star. How did he enjoy things?
Well, the 7-footer had an official visit. Started the first day that visits could be taken after over a year layoff because of the pandemic. But he told me that that he really said the visit was a great visit for him. What really stood out to him was how Arkansas talked about how they'd use him playing a 5-man out. So even though he's a 7-footer and can play with his back to the basket, he liked what he heard because he can stretch the floor. He can shoot facing up all the way out to the 3 line. They talked about him in pick and roll and dive into the basket off of that for dunks and lay-ins. And so Ware really enjoyed himself, came with his mom and his younger brother, but it was a great official visit for him. And he's got one coming up with Texas. I think he's also going to visit Oregon, but Arkansas is in his top 10, and we'll see where that leads.
Derrian Ford, another in-state guy, a 4-star as well. I mean, that's definitely a good thing when you're getting in-state guys, and they're also ranked as 4 stars as well. So 6'4" combo guard. What can you tell us about him and his visit to Arkansas?
Absolutely. I failed to mention Kel'el Ware's ranked 29th in the country.
Oh,
4-star. Derrian Ford's not far behind at number 38, but he also on his visit, they visited official visits at the same time, so they coincided, Ware and Ford. But Ford was named the Gatorade Arkansas High School Boys Player of the Year during his visit while he was on campus. But he had, the word he used was amazing about the visits. He's had a long relationship building with Musselman, and even though there's been some staff turnover, he spent a lot of time with not only Musselman but several members of the staff that are still at Arkansas. But Ford, when you look at this, I think he's going to take more visits. I like where Arkansas stands right now with him. But again, he used the word amazing and went on and on about several aspects of that visit. The first time he was at Arkansas was just over 2 years ago, a few months on an unofficial visit after Musselman had been on the job for just a few months. So with Arkansas being his first stop on his visit tour, I like it. I like the Hogs' chances ultimately.
Joseph Pinion, this guy's already committed to Arkansas, but finally he got to hang out with Musselman again. So what was that like for him?
Yeah, Terry, you mentioned Pinion. He was on an unofficial visit. He joined kind of on the last day of Ware and Ford's official visit, sort of partly as we're helping recruit those guys, but also because of the pandemic, he's not been able to see Musselman face-to-face or meet the new coaches face-to-face, the assistant coaches. So he was able to do that. And of course, his word to describe what was going on, he said it was amazing. He loved every second of it. But getting to go to practice, these guys got to go see practice. They got to hang out together. They got a lot of the expectations on an official visit that you just didn't have in the last year. So Pinion likes Arkansas's chances with both Ford and Ware. Obviously, like you said, he's already committed, 6'6" wing and a Morrilton, and I think he's really a top 50 talent when all things are said and done.
Last guy from the 2022 class, Barry Dunny Jr., did he say it was amazing as well?
His catchword was love. He loved it.
Okay, that's good too. We'll take that.
Right. He enjoyed every second of it, but he talked about the love on the coaching staff, how they love basketball and how their expectations are about not only winning, but player development. But he felt like Razorback fans. He went to the baseball game, Arkansas's regional. So he talked about just the fan base and the community at large in Fayetteville. He just felt like there's a lot of love going around. So that was his catchphrase. But, he told me that he's down to 3 schools, Arkansas, Memphis, and Ole Miss. He's got a visit scheduled to Memphis on June 21st. He's not set one yet for Ole Miss, but it was thought he was going to make a commitment announcement in January to coincide with his mom's birthday. He told me he's not going to push that way up to June 30th. So the end of this month, he's going to make an commitment announcement unless he changes his mind and moves it again. And with Arkansas already having been there and talked about all the love, we'll see how Memphis visit goes, if he even goes to Ole Miss. But it's down to those 3, Tara.
Okay. Well, we'll wait for June 30th. All right.
Well, yeah, he's a top 45 guy, 4-star, 6'6" wing at Alabama. Was also during his visit named Gatorade Alabama High School Player of the Year. So wow. Arkansas's in on top-notch players for sure.
Yeah. The 2023 guy is Layden Blocker, and another in-state target for Arkansas. He took his unofficial visit, though. How was that?
That was on Saturday. Arkansas didn't practice, but he got to go in and see individual workouts at the Performance Center. He said he had a really good time on his unofficial visit. was really impressed again with the coaching staff. And he's a young man. That he is from Little Rock, ranked number 57 in the country according to 247 Sports, a 4-star. But he'll play at Sunrise Christian Academy, one of the top independent schools in Kansas next season. But he and Ware and Ford are all flying out to Las Vegas today to take part in the prestigious Pangos All-American Camp, along with Kay Honor Bote in class of 2024 that Arkansas has offered out of Little Rock. The 4 of those Arkansans will be taking part in this prestigious camp. All 30 NBA teams will be represented with scouts for June 6th to June 8th at that camp.
Wow. Well, real quick, also got to get your take on what you've heard from the Hogs' first week of partial practice.
Yeah, it was their first full week. They kind of got in after physicals and move-in day. This past week, they were pretty much full go as far as the limited practice.
Okay.
Chance Moore had his first practice on Wednesday because he was the last player to move in, the freshman from Georgia, on last Sunday. But Musselman was, sort of going over some of the philosophical elements of his program now in year 3 at Arkansas. They worked on technique, a lot of controlled scrimmagings where they're really going half court, looking at situational basketball, a lot of stoppage for instruction.
Yeah.
But you've got guys like JD Note, his offense already standing out. Devo Davis already showing on the defensive end. He's wants to be one of the best on-ball defenders in college basketball. And when you've got a team that's projected top 10 to 15 nationally, Tara, in the upcoming season, I'm hearing good news and good reports about all of the players. And you expect that if your team's going to have that kind of preseason ranking, you expect the lineup to be solid up and down. Yeah. And I'm already hearing in limited time good things about this team.
Love to hear the continued good things about this team. I know we're all expecting them to build off of last season. So we'll see how things go. But Kevin McPherson, as always, thank you so much for your time and your insight. But that's going to wrap it up for our Hog Hoops report this week. We'll be back with more on the Pig Trail right after the break.